Welcome to my apartment hunting series in LA, where I go around and tour things I epically cannot afford for research purposes and for fun. So far I've done downtown LA, Santa Monica, Hollywood. I've done some house tours, and now we are going to do a beachside neighborhood, which is Playa Vista. It is a gorgeous, more residential area, but it is up and coming and a lot of things have been added. It's near the college LMU, and either way we're going to do 3 different price ranges of luxury buildings, from the cheapest to the most expensive. Stay tuned for the most expensive, though the middle one is my favorite, but let me know what you guys think. So before we get started, please hit the like and subscribe button down below. It means the world to me. I post new videos every single Wednesday and I do a lot of tour videos, so stay tuned for that, including my own tour videos when I have to move out of this apartment temporarily and move it back into it. Either way, whole shebang. Let's start off with the first apartment, which is the most affordable one, which is Fountain Park Apartments in Playa Vista. And then this one had a little map for me to follow on my self-guided tour, so I just started wandering through the courtyards and stumbled upon one of 2 pools. It is a good sized pool. The furniture's kind of meh, but there are some grills, and the courtyards are filled with plants, but the elevator and just certain other elements are super old and retro feeling, and just honestly, the elevator felt like a death trap, and the hallways are a bit dingy too. Now, the 1 bedroom start at about $2,800 and go to just above $3,000. Now, for the specific unit we're seeing, this one is about 680 square feet, and when you first walk in, it does have a little storage closet on the inside, which is nice to have. It did make me wonder if there was a washer and dryer, so we'll see. Now, as for the kitchen, it does have all stainless steel appliances, and for some reason, I always feel a need to open both of them whenever I go on tours. There's just plain, I think, like quartz countertops, and there is a little nook from the kitchen into the living room area, which I guess it let in some light. Now, it is a pretty good sized living room area. The one thing though is the windows are kind of small and the view is kind of like, I don't know, meh, but it does have a balcony, which is definitely nice to have, and it's a pretty good size considering the price that this apartment is. It's nice to be able to get a balcony and have some outdoor space. So when you go through to the hall, there is a bathroom, and it's pretty large. There's just not too much storage in here. It does have a deep soaking tub and a stacked washer and dryer. Now, there is carpet and no light switch, so you couldn't have anything plugged in with a switch, but there's like a little nook and the rest of the room. It is a bit small in comparison, and the closet is pretty tiny and kind of just minimal, but it would work, and you could fit a bed in here for sure. Okay, overall opinions of the unit, ignored, is super echoey in here, but either way, it's an old building trying to be new and trying to get new prices, but this is the most affordable one we're gonna see of the 3, so that does play a part in what you're going to get. So it's like this unit is under $3,000, whereas the other ones are in the other price brackets, which are a lot higher. And so it's like, for the price, I don't think it's that bad for the area, but definitely the building is old. Certain things are definitely falling apart, like the elevator was hella sketch, and just like, I don't know, there's just certain elements you could tell like the building's old. They maybe have done some stuff to make it a little bit newer, but not much. And then inside of the unit, there is new appliances, so it is nice to have like the stainless steel appliances, but you're still gonna have like carpet in the bedroom and just certain things that definitely look old, like everything down to like, ooh, look at this thermostat. Look at that yellowy old thermostat look, that you know what I'm talking about if you know what I'm talking about. So it's like, it's nice and new enough that I don't think you would feel like you're in an old dingy place, but you definitely wouldn't feel like you're in a new modern place, and you're still paying almost $3,000 for it. So it's like, are the next ones we're gonna see be worth that extra little bit amount of money for just prettier? Because this place still has amenities, it still has a pool, it still has a gym. So I'd say it's still a pretty good deal, but let's see what a little bit more money can get us. It is the next day and we're off to the second most expensive place and see how much more we can get for our money if we spend a little bit more. And this one should be fully self-guided. I should be able to take you along on the whole entire thing. I really want to know what this place looks like. It looks pretty from the outside, but let's see how it looks on the inside. Now this one is a Runway Apartments, and I would say the location is the best of all, and we'll see that pool, I promise. But to give you an idea, there's so many little nooks to hang out in here, which is definitely nice to have that privacy element, but I had to see the pool because obviously that's the best part of all. It is a pretty large pool, a large hot tub, and I did find out there is a whole nother pool and hot tub that you can go to. Now as for some of the other common area spaces, this is so nice to have. It is a very large space. I imagine it'd be really good if you want to throw an event, and a lot of times these buildings will allow you to like rent it out exclusively, but if you want to do it for free, you can just come and hang out here with friends. And the like multi-level thing I think looks really good, just the way the view, even though you don't technically have a view. Now as for the gym area, they have a little yoga studio, and they do yoga classes from time to time. I'm not exactly sure how that whole sign up process works, but the gym is a pretty good space for an apartment. There is a good amount of equipment. It seemed like it was kept up with pretty well. Now as for the other areas, again, there was so many little nooks. There is this one which is all string lights and a picnic table and a fire pit. I loved it. And then also there's plenty of like bar top seating with grills and enough spaces that I feel like you'd never have to feel like you have to share. Now this area again is one of the best. So it's a residential area down there, and those buildings have so much different stuff inside of them, from movie theaters to restaurants. And then on the rooftop there is another space, again similar, where it's the bar top seating and grills and string lights, and I can't imagine how pretty this would be at nighttime. Now I did look over the edge and I couldn't believe how green it looked. There was like a little park space down here with picnic tables and a playscape. So if you had kids, I imagine this would be very well to have in addition to the common areas of the building. There's like more public spaces too. Now the one bedrooms range from about 3.4 and go up to about 3.9 for the traditional one bedrooms. They do have lofts though, and keep in mind this is a model unit. It's about 723 square feet. There is a stacked washer and dryer on the inside of here. So far all of the units have had them. Now let's start over with the kitchen side. It's a pretty large size kitchen considering the amount of space, and I'm glad I opened up the fridge like always because there are snacks in here. I am always a person to grab the snacks when it comes to going on tours, no shame about that. Now these countertops are like a metal material, and I don't know how I feel about it because it looks all scratched up and there's not much counter space, so I would add one of those like island bars so you had more counter space than that, and you had seating. So I don't think you really need a dining room table. Bar seating would be a lot better. Now as for this living room space, even though it's a little bit tight, there's still plenty of room in here, and there was no door to the bedroom, but I believe the other units do have doors. I'm not really sure why this one doesn't, but either way the bedroom's pretty big. You have plenty of room for a bed and a dresser and more additional stuff in here too. Now it continues into the bathroom, which surprisingly is really large. I'm not sure if it uses the space the best, but there is a soaking tub that's pretty large and a shower combo with it. Now there's the toilet. Now it's not a double sink, but there's still a good amount of counter space and a closet. So I'm a sucker for a walk-in closet, and this one, it fits the bill. And there's extra linen closet storage in here, and it connects over to the kitchen and living room so people wouldn't have to walk through your bedroom. So overall, my opinions on this unit is you can see where the money comes in. The building is a lot nicer and newer. Even everything down to the elevators doesn't feel all old and dingy like the one we saw yesterday. I'm also in a better mood today, so I might be a little bit biased, but definitely everything is just so much newer, so much nicer. The common areas are so much bigger. There's so much more space to lounge out. The furniture is nicer. Like there's some little bits of it that aren't like perfect, but overall it's a lot better than the last place, and it seems like there's a lot more of those spaces. Even though the last one did have 2 pools, it didn't really have much other like hangout areas where this one really does, and it seems like it's separated off so you wouldn't always feel like you're with other people living in the building. Oh, and in the garage on the way out I see there is like a little like storage metal boxing area for bikes, and it's like key fob access and everything, so it's a much more secure way of having your bikes, and it seems like surfboard too. So that's great that they have that. Now let's head off to the last unit, which is the most expensive, but this company has 3 different buildings pretty close together, and I wanted to see their most expensive building, but this is actually their cheapest, which is the Sausalito building, and the 2 other ones, like they go price range up from there. And the courtyard areas in here are really pretty. And again, there is so much common area spaces in these last two buildings. But as for the one bedrooms, they do start at about 3-4 and go up to the mid 4s. And I've seen them go even higher. And there's plenty of like office area, like hangout spaces. So if you worked from home, it would definitely be a great place to live. There's so many outdoor little nooks to hang out in and even games to play. So no complaints there. Other fire pits. I would be out here all the freaking time. I say that, but then you wonder, like, well, you're living here, would you take as much advantage of this area as you should? And again, there's multiple areas with grills and seating and so many loungers. Like, I think it might have been too much. Like, even this pool, I'm like, why do you need like that big of a pool? And then the hot tub, though, it was a good size, but it's like, I almost wish those areas would be bigger instead of these pools. Like, why do the pools need to be so gosh darn big? But as for the gym area, there were people in there at the time when I was in there, so I didn't want to look around too much. But there was plenty of equipment in here, from weights to cardio to like very much intense fitness workout stuff. I think this was one of the better gyms that we saw for sure. Now, as for the actual unit, it's about 994 square feet, and it is a very open concept space. There's this like den dining room area, and it is huge. You'd have so much room where I think you could actually do like an office dining room combo. But as for the kitchen space, for the price, I don't know, it's just a little bit meh. I kind of would expect better for a luxury building. It does have stainless steel appliances though, and as always, I feel a need to open the refrigerator. Now, when you go into the living room area, it is very large, has TV hookups, and you wouldn't feel crowded at all in here. Now, the windows are a bit small. Again, for being a modern luxury building, I would expect bigger, and the views kind of meh, because this building is the farthest away from the main area I feel like you'd want to be in, but it still does have all the things you'd want, like a washer and dryer stacked combo inside. As for the rest of the space, you got the bedroom, bathroom, and you have a hall closet. It's not right in the entryway, but it's still good to have that. As for the bathroom, again, it reminds me, if I can find the gosh darn switch, it reminds me of the kitchen, where it's just, it feels cheap. So I could definitely tell that the other three buildings would have nicer finishes than this one would, because it's just a little bit on the cheaper side, but the soaking tub is very large. So that would be nice to have. Just some of the other stuff's a bit old, and the bedroom does have carpet in it, which is great for sound control, but does make things look a little bit cheaper than some of the other apartments. Now, as for the closet space, it's like okay size. Now, it's like almost like a sliding door closet, and it has hanging space, but when you go to the other side of the closet, it's almost like a walk-in, but not per se. It's just the nook goes a little bit further back. But overall, it's just, I can so tell this is the bottom tier of a luxury apartment complex, because I lived in a building very similar to the idea of this building in downtown LA, where it was a luxury building, but it was an affordable luxury building. So it's definitely an interesting concept. I'll definitely do a future video where we check out the other buildings. Maybe at some point, if there's vacant units in each one, we can compare the three buildings. So stay tuned. I will definitely do updated videos. I would consider living in a building like this though. So if you remember in the beginning, I said the second apartment was my favorite of all, but what did you guys think of all three units? Which would you say is like the best value for your money and like prettiness? Which one do you like the best? Again, second is my personal favorite, but let me know down in the comments what you thought of each of the apartments, and if you have any areas you want me to check out and do apartment tours, let me know. Playa Vista is actually a previous comment that I got, and that's how I got the idea. And please hit the like and subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and I hope you have a great rest of your morning, evening, night, whatever it is for you. I'll see you Wednesday.